Hi, and welcome to this live reading from A Girl Stuck by Kelly Elizabeth Huston. And this is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1. He laughed as he folded his tall frame into that ridiculous vintage Tahiti blue MG. He'd made a joke, a funny one, I'm sure, but I missed it while my heart crumbled in the stifling July 4th humidity on a sidewalk in Jamaica. Jamaica, Queens, that is. The morning mist had strengthened to spitting rain, and the whole scene turned absurdly appropriate. Warning, this next bit won't be pretty. Hey, Asher. Looking skyward, I clenched my droopy ponytail, kinking in the wet. I knew to avoid his face. Better to endure the increasing pelt of raindrops on mine. Yeah? He leaned out the open window. I sucked in a hot, soggy air, wishing it wasn't. Do me a favor, yeah? What's that, Harry? Name it. Sincere blue eyes met mine when, like a fool, I lowered my gaze. Lose my number. It sounded more like a question. I adjusted the messenger bag that weighed me down along with the summer heat and the leather jacket I wore, intent on looking the part in some self-assured Gloria Gaynor moment. It didn't go that way. What? Asher's shock came as a pleasant surprise, at least. Do you mean that, Harriet? Really? Jesus, I hate it when people call me by my given name, except him. Yes, maybe. No. I tried for a chuckle, but when it fell flat, I growled to loosen my tightening throat. I mean, yes. Yes, I do. Don't call me again, okay? Not sooner or later or ever. Could you do that for me? Never call me again because I can't. I hear you. I won't. But if you ever need anything, I won't. I couldn't get those words out fast enough before I spun on the wet sidewalk to trudge through the St. John's University campus to my home 3 blocks south. The MG's engine rumbled to a start. Shit. 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 I swear to God, Harry Smith, if you turn around, you will never get over the man. Just keep walking. Yes, I spoke the words aloud to myself. I do that. With a forceful head shake, I picked up my pace, proud of my restraint as I left the best-selling author, Asher Cray, the man of my whatever, in my wake. I took another damp breath and focused on getting home to email the last of that relationship out of my inbox so I could get on with the business of getting over the man who had unknowingly kept me under his spell for the better part of 2 years. Ugh. His spell? That sounded like a gooey romantic, and rest assured I am anything but. Let's just say Asher is funny and smart and kind in an incredible toe-curling way, and now it's over, has been over for more than a year until he called yesterday. Son of a bitch. Pulled from my wallowing thoughts, I stopped short of bounding up the concrete stairs that led to my apartment when the muffled mews of one of the neighborhood's stray cats cried from under a scraggly hedge. The skittish animal didn't come out to greet me, having more sense than to step into the rain. I bent to say my hellos and pulled a folded napkin from my bag's front pocket. Here, kitty, I brought you some bacon. I tore up my breakfast leftovers, placing the bits under the shrubbery for the homeless creature's easy access. She hissed. To hell with you, then, I jeered, but continued to rip apart the salty strip of pork. When the mangy ingrate finished eating, it scurried deeper into the privet without so much as a head bump in thanks. I remained crouched in the rain until Mother Nature urged me indoors when she sent down a harder cloudburst. My home had the outward look of a miniature asylum rather than a residence. I'd bought the lackluster 2-story brick square for next to nothing 4 years ago. Originally a small industrial warehouse built early last century, I had the structure gutted and retrofitted into 2 2-story apartments, one for me, one for a stranger who had become like family. A wise investment of an unfortunate financial windfall. I stomped water off my sneakers, meeting a frigid air-conditioned blast when I entered the building's vestibule and shuddered at the chill. Wet rubber soles squeaked on vintage penny tiles, announcing my arrival. Couldn't get my deadbolt unlocked, and myself inside before the door across the hall flew open. Harry Smith. It was another hiss, but not of the feline variety. With my forehead pressed to the still-closed door, I sighed. Hello, Leo, preparing for the inevitable reprimand. Don't hello, Leo, me, missy. Did I see? It's not what it looked like, nosy Parker. I cut short my neighbor's scolding with an exasperated snap. Oh, thanks, sweet baby Jesus. Leo let his slip his southern accent, because it looked like that famed writer who ghosted you over a year ago showed up here last night and didn't leave until this morning. And since it took you until last Tuesday to actually get over the way too old for you, albeit incredibly hot man, that would have been a gut-wrenching wound to reopen, not to mention stupid as fuck. Okay, Leo. It was a little like it looked, but not entirely. And he didn't ghost me, and I'm fine. And Asher's gone for good this time. With a slow turn, I faced unexpected silence. My neighbor Leo, that stranger-turned family, leaned in his doorway with a hand on his hip, his head mere inches from the top of the frame. He wore a look of disdain and a flowing floral kimono identical to one I owned thanks to a night of too much Manischewitz and some tipsy online shopping, and damn it if he didn't look better in it than I did. I couldn't take the quiet. Jesus, say something. Did you know? I should have guessed he'd go there. His visit was strictly for book-related research. Business. Really? Well, I might have tried, but I confessed. I couldn't help myself. Leo possessed a priest-like quality, though rabbi would be more appropriate. Really? Seems he's met someone, I explained. Really? And it's serious. Really? Has a heart attack. Asher's words, not mine. Well, the man is of a certain age, Leo snickered. Come on, he's not that old. Really? Leopold Klein, so help me, say really one more time. I dare you. My glare met his pursed lips. He didn't. He said nothing for an agonizing moment. You all right? The eventual soft-spoken question became laced with genuine concern. I'd be better if I had a summer session to teach, or my phone would ring with a PI case that didn't involve infidelity and the need for proof, but yeah, I'm all right. Sometimes the work schedule of an adjunct professor allowed for too much free time, and the private investigator side hustle left me feeling dirty. Well, what'll you do now? I'll close out the last of the background research I did for Asher's next book that he doesn't even think he's going to write now, and send him his file with a very big invoice. Big, huh? Huge. But it's the last one. Hand to, I don't need to know where your hands have been, Harriet. Seriously. Leo waved his long fingers and tisked with a curled lip. I laughed, relieved to find laughter still possible, and opened my apartment door. Hey, got plans tonight? No, you? Gantry Plaza, fireworks, Independence Day. He gave a pointed look before belting out a country song I'd like to think I'm too young to know. Oh, that's a hard pass. I forced a grin at my friend. Thanks, though. Have fun. Inside my home, I hung my messenger bag on a teak hat rack and peeled off my leather jacket before catching my reflection in the mirror. The older man's ability to say no wasn't so hard to believe when my sagging image stared back at me. A wide receiver on game day look my rain-smeared mascara provided forced an eye roll. I wiped the smudges, toed off my sneakers in a clumsy stumble, and trudged upstairs to my bathroom, the very bathroom Asher had showered in a few hours earlier. Last night's McKellen 18 remnants mocked me from the coffee table in the middle of my bedroom. An unexpected night of drinking had landed the best-selling author in my bed and me on my sofa. Yeah, not my best work. In a blink, I found myself downstairs again and across the hall, banging on Leo's door. When it opened, I thrust the 1/3 full bottle at my wide-eyed neighbor. Take it, yeah? Oh, honey, I don't take it. I shoved it to his chest and held it there. You know I don't drink the dark liquor. It makes me, I get wild. It's $300 a bottle. Well, if you insist. Leo snatched the scotch from my grasp, and I hurried back to my solitary sanctum, shutting the door with more force than I meant. Tripping over my shoes, I beelined to the shower before any sort of Asher Cray shrine status took hold, and I found myself bathing at the gym for the rest of my life. Pathetic, Harry. Steam filled the tiled room, and I washed away what I hoped would be the last of the memory of a man who wasn't meant to be. Well, not meant for me, anyway.